deep inside. And I learned a lot. A lot. Everyone who listens to you, people of Israel, sees that something fundamental has gone wrong over the past year. The personal security has gone down. The national pride has been humiliated. The fear of our enemies have grown. Israeli flags have been removed. PLO flags have been raised. And there is no picture that expresses this better than these young women in Jerusalem that remove Israeli flags from cars in front of PLO flags in the background. The cost of living hits the pockets of each and every one of us. The gas, the electricity, the milk, all those prices are rising. The prices are breaking records every day. And there's no cure, there's no government. In schools and kindergartens, endless strikes. Public transportation is paralyzed. The ports are suffering. The airport is breaking down. The national feeling is, and I'm hearing this from many Israeli civilians, the general feeling is that we're losing the country. And during this time, when all of this is taking place, the officials of the government that also has collapsed are trying to wrap everything with shiny wraps when they're still in the country and say this is managed, this is well organized, this is executed, this is self-glorification that has nothing behind it, falsifying the government that has no ambition and no ability to execute.
שאל תעזרו לי, תאמינו לי, אני מסתדר. חברת הכנסת קריב, תודה, או תשב או תצא, תודה. שקט. חבר הכנסת אבוטבול, אתה לא צריך להגיב על כל דבר, אני מסתדר.
Members of Parliament are being asked to remain silent. They promised a change. They spoke about healing. They made an experiment, and the experiment has failed. This is what happens when you take a fake right with extreme left, mix it with the Muslim Brotherhood and the Joint List, and this is what you're getting. This is what these elections are about.
חבר הכנסת בן גביר, תפסיק לעזור לי, אני אוציא אותך. אני לא רוצה את העזרה שלך. תירגעו, אתם רק מוסיפים ומפריעים. נראה לי חברת הכנסת, אני מסתדר לא רע. חבר הכנסת בן גביר, קריאה ראשונה. חבר הכנסת בן גביר ראשונה.
This is an opportunity to repeat the essence of what I'm saying. They promised a change, they spoke about healing, they experimented, and the experiment has failed. This is what happens when you take fake right with extreme left, mix it with the Muslim Brotherhood and the Joint List. This is what you're getting. And this is what these elections are about. Will we see another failed government by Lapid that is dependent on the Muslim Brotherhood and terror supporters, or a wide national government led by us that will return Israel the pride, the strength, and the hope? The only government that Yair Lapid can build is one with the Muslim Brotherhood and then with a Joint List. You can deny as much as you want. Lapid has already agreed with Ram and the Joint List. Lapid does not have a government without them. He knows the maths. tied them with him. So do not believe the denials, because we saw in our own eyes that this is what held them together over the past few months. Do not believe the signatures in studios. We warned over the past elections, and the end is known. Most of what we warned of what would happen has happened. This is what will happen here as well. Unless we establish the strong national government the people are longing for, and therefore we are the only alternative. We are the only alternative.
חבר הכנסת אבו שחאדה, אתה בקריאה ראשונה, תודה. חבר הכנסת אוחנה, אתה רק מפריע לראש סיעתך. חבר הכנסת טיבי, שב בבקשה. אתם מפריעים לו. בבקשה, אני מתנצל.
אדוני היושב-ראש, חברי הכנסת.
Mr. Chairman and members of Knesset.
היית חסר לי פה, תודה. בבקשה.
Mr. Chairman, members of Knesset, we are the only alternative. A wide, strong, national, stable government. A government that will bring back the national pride to the people of Israel. We are determined to bring Israel back to the path of success, as we did over the best decade of the State of Israel. We've brought Israel to new heights of strength and prosperity, and we'll bring that again. We turned our country to the 8th superpower in the world. We made a major transition in the foreign relations. We brought 4 peace agreements, historic peace agreements with Arab countries. The fruits of the peace that we achieved, everything that's happening now, is based on the Abraham Accords that we brought and that some of you have objected to, both publicly and unpublicly. We brought the gas out of the water, and we brought billions of shekels into the pockets of Israeli civilians. We'll bring more. We got Israel for the first time, for the first in the world, out of the coronavirus. We turned Israel into a cyber superpower. We strengthened the pride in the Jewish identity in the Bible. Despite the international pressures, we doubled the number of settlers in West Bank. We have a support. There's a major public behind us that is expecting. We have support. We have a vision. We have power. We have a way. And I tell you what else we have. We have values. These are terms that disappeared over the past year with this opportunist government. A shameless government without barriers. We have a vision of Israel as a world power, and we'll fulfill this vision for all citizens of Israel when we'll win the elections. We'll get to work, and I'll tell you what will be our first task. Our first task is to lower the prices and return stability and growth for all people of Israel, Jews, Arabs, Druze, Cherkessim, ultra-Orthodox, secular, all of them. This is how we acted. We do not speak for nothing.
חברת הכנסת דיסטל, אל תעזרי לי, את מפריעה לראש מפלגתך.
פשוט לא יאומן, לא יאומן.
We are talking with a record, with proof. This is how we did when we got Israel out of the major financial crisis. We did not say that there's nothing to do. We did not say this is a world phenomenon. we acted. We got Israel out of crises. We brought the economy into new heights. We passed the UK and Japan and Canada. We passed France. We probably passed Germany as well. Unlike the current government, unlike the alternate Yair Lapid in the interim government, who admitted to know nothing about economy. This is what he said on television. And when he was the most failed finance minister in the history of the State of Israel, we know how to do this. They contributed to the inflation with their taxes and with the many billions they delivered to one another. From Ra'anana to Ram, we will take the first task. We will reduce the cost of living. We will step Israel to the top of the technology, the world technology. With IA, I met 3 days ago with a person I spoke to many times over the phone. I met with Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, and we spoke about extending the base of knowledge that we have in cooperation with Pfizer and other companies with the State of Israel in order to turn Israel into the greatest biomedical information system. But we want to extend this. We will do this together with many other initiatives. The second thing we will do, we will bring back the national pride. We'll take care of the national symbols. We'll raise the Israeli flags. Israel is the state of the Jewish people, the only state of the Jewish people. We will establish a government that will take care of everyone, for Jews and non-Jews. All are equal citizens, but we will not allow to hurt the Jewish pride, the national pride. We will not allow terror on the streets. And above all, unlike Yair Lapid, we will not establish a government that is based on the Muslim Brotherhood and terror supporters.
חבר הכנסת עבאס, שקט. חבר הכנסת קיש. חבר הכנסת קיש. סדרנים להושיב את חבר הכנסת עבאס. סדרנים להושיב את חבר הכנסת קיש. חברים, סדרנים.
Members of Parliament are asked to take their seats and remain quiet.
סדרנים, נא להושיב את חברי הכנסת, ומי שלא רוצה לשבת, להוציא אותו. חבר הכנסת עודה, חבר הכנסת עודה, חבר הכנסת עבאס, האדם מאוד שקט, תודה. בבקשה להמשיך. חבר הכנסת יברקן, אותך עניין לי חסר. בבקשה. 53 מיליארד.
Members of Parliament are asked to remain silent. Mr. Chairman, respect this house. This is not how you run a meeting. Take them out of this plenum. This is not how you run a meeting.
חבר הכנסת שקט, חברת הכנסת גולן, חברת הכנסת גולן שקט. חבר הכנסת נתניהו, יש לי משהו.
Members of Knesset are asked to remain silent.
תודה. בבקשה להמשיך. אני גאה למי לקבל הוראות, בבקשה להמשיך, אינני מקבל ממך הוראות. נא להמשיך, בוודאי לא כיושב ראש הכנסת כל עוד אני בתפקידי. חברת הכנסת גולן, קריאה ראשונה. איך אני אוציא אותה? חברת הכנסת דיסטל, שקט.
A third thing. First thing is to reduce prices, then to bring back national pride. Third thing is Iran. If Iran develops a nuclear arsenal, it will threaten our existence. Therefore, me and my friends will do everything so that Iran does not acquire a nuclear weapon. We will fight the Iranian aggression and its proxies, both on the international level and in the operational level. These are the three destinations: reducing the cost of living, the national pride, and the Iranian threats. Together with them, many other initiatives. But in order to do all of this, and many other things, Israel needs a strong government, experienced and stable government. We just cannot execute these things and continue to bring Israel on the fantastic path that we have over the past decade. We cannot do this when the government is led by rookies without experience, with no vision. All they have is hollow words and support of the media from which they came from. But we have other things. We have all the power, all the values, all the hope. And I would like to thank my friends who worked hard, who told us this coalition will break apart. We said that they will break apart, and they have, because they have no fuel for the future. We do. We have the love for the state of Israel, a belief in the future of the state of Israel, and with God's help, within 4 months, we will fulfill this for the benefit of all citizens of Israel. Thank you very much.
כן, גם את, כן. את תתווכחי איתי, את תתווכחי איתי. קריאה ראשונה. תכף למצלמות, הבנו אותך.